The Night Stalker TV.
In the early 1980s, Los Angeles became a city haunted by an invisible terror. Families slept in the safety of their homes, unaware that a shadow was moving silently through their streets. That shadow was Richard Ramirez, a man whose name would become synonymous with fear, darkness, and unthinkable violence. He would be remembered as the Night Stalker, a predator who turned ordinary homes into crime scenes, leaving terror in his wake. Richard Ramirez was born in 1960 in El Paso, Texas. His childhood was far from normal. His father was abusive, his household unstable. At an early age, he was exposed to disturbing imagery and stories of violence by his older cousin. By the time he reached his teenage years, he was addicted to violent pornography and increasingly detached from empathy, fascinated instead with death, cruelty, and the occult. These early influences would mold the mind of a man who would terrorize a city. In the early 1980s, Ramirez moved to California. At first, he began as a petty thief, breaking into houses at night. But his acts quickly escalated. What started as burglary evolved into sexual assault, torture, and murder. Ramirez was methodical, entering homes silently through unlocked doors, windows, or broken locks. Some victims never even realized a stranger had been inside until the horror had already occurred. Ramirez left his mark. Candles were left at crime scenes. Satanic symbols were drawn on walls. Some victims found messages of fear scrawled in blood or charcoal. These symbols were not random. They were psychological weapons, a signature meant to terrify both the living and investigators. He wanted people to know he was there and that he could strike at any time, anywhere. His victims were varied: men, women, children. Some survived, hiding under beds or in closets, recounting stories that would chill investigators for years. Ramirez's attacks were unpredictable. Some lasted minutes, others hours. He took pleasure in the terror, sometimes taunting his victims, leaving them alive to carry the fear forward. Los Angeles became a city of shadows as neighbors whispered about the Night Stalker. Despite his increasingly bold attacks, Ramirez was elusive. Police struggled to connect the crimes as his targets seemed random. It wasn't until August 1985 that a break came. Ramirez attempted a mugging in East Los Angeles. Neighbors recognized him from media coverage and chased him down. They held him at bay until the police arrived, ending his reign of terror for now. The trial became a spectacle. Ramirez appeared in court with his smirk intact, sometimes flashing satanic symbols, taunting families, and showing no remorse. His crimes were laid bare: 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, 14 burglaries, each story more horrifying than the last. The world watched in disbelief, trying to understand how one man could commit such unspeakable acts with such precision and confidence. Experts later described Ramirez as a sadistic psychopath. He displayed no empathy, no moral compass. His early exposure to abuse, pornography, and violence shaped a mind obsessed with cruelty. He sought control, power, and terror. Every act was both ritualistic and random, leaving law enforcement and the public in constant fear. Anyone could be a victim, and Ramirez made sure that the terror lingered long after he left the scene. Ramirez was sentenced to death and remained in prison for decades. Even in confinement, his presence was unnerving to guards and fellow inmates. He died in 2013 of natural causes while still on death row. But the legend of the Night Stalker remains. Los Angeles, and indeed the world, still remembers the shadow that once moved silently through its streets. Richard Ramirez became more than a criminal. He became a symbol of darkness that can strike anywhere at any time. The Night Stalker is a chilling reminder that evil can hide behind ordinary doors, that terror often comes from shadows, and that some legends never die. They linger, whispered in fear, long after the night has